Private MMA. I'm a professional MMA champion and a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I coach and teach at Extreme Couture. And Brandon Schaub has essentially called out Brock Lesnar, which gets super interesting because Brock is a member of WWE, but he fought in the UFC, but WWE is on Netflix, and now MVP is on Netflix. So will that fight actually happen? He said a lot about a lot of different fights that he would do or not do, and man, we're going to get into all that. This could be a very, very, very big fight. We have MMA legend Felony Charles Bennett in the chat. Shout out to Felony Charles Bennett. He's got a big fight coming up. Hawaii, April 11th, bare knuckle. Tune in and make sure you see him KO someone stiff in 30 seconds. We got Arpon the Don in the chat. We are live. We are live. We are live. Let me hit this Zevia real quick. Get a little caffeinated, you know, as if I'm not already caffeinated. But yeah, man. Shout out to Fight Circus, home of the Freak Show fights. Follow Fight Circus on Instagram. Best show on stream. Let's go, man. See, you got excellent taste, bro. Appreciate you guys hopping on the chat. I have a lot more fun when the chat's popping. You know what I mean? I like to interact. I like to connect. So tonight's main story is Brendan Schaub is back at it again. He was on his podcast, Fighter and the Kid, and they started asking him if he would fight again. And he's like, yeah, I mean, I would fight. And they started offering him numbers and everything like that. He says he's more famous than Conor Ben. Conor Ben got $15 million for Zuffa boxing. And, you know, they were like, well, what if we gave you $5 million? You kept 3 after taxes. Would you fight on MVP? And they started listing people. And he said, don't list anybody unrealistic. Like, don't list Chuck Liddell, implying that Brendan Schaub would not fight Chuck Liddell. But what I found the most interesting, the fight I'm most intrigued by, is that they brought up Brock Lesnar. Now, they're talking about a potential fight, and I believe that Brendan Schaub is telling the truth. I believe he would actually fight Brock, and as crazy as it sounds, I believe Brock might actually fight him in MVP because Brock is signed to the WWE. They're on Netflix. The only problem is this. WWE and UFC are both in TKO. So would the UFC allow someone in the WWE to fight on MVP? Because MVP and WWE are both Netflix, but UFC and WWE are both TKO. So the plot thickens, guys. The plot freaking thickens. Honestly, man, that's a great fight. I would actually, this is hot take. I know the internet hates him. I would pick Brendan Schaub to beat Brock Lesnar. I would be super excited to watch that. Man, I think Brendan Schaub, people think that Brendan Schaub is like a sorry ass podcast dork comedian, dude. That guy can scrap. He was in the NFL. To get in the NFL, you have to be a freaking athlete. And man, if he and Brock fought, I think Brock would take him down. I think Brendan Schaub would survive. And I think maybe round 2, Brendan Schaub would stop Brock Lesnar. Also, in other news, it's heating up. People are picking the Strickland versus Hamzat fight. Felony and I have been training together for this bare knuckle fight, and he and I have a different take. He's picking Hamzat. I'm picking Strickland. I saw Strickland today, and I was talking to Strickland about Felony, and Strickland says that he would spar Felony. So we might have a Strickland versus Felony sparring session coming up in the near future. No telling what might happen, guys. It gets crazy out here in Vegas. Let me take another sip of this Zevia soda. They don't give me any money, but you know, I love these things. They have 0 calories. They taste like a soda, and they are caffeinated. So, also, oh, I forgot to say this. Subscribe and tap notifications if you've not done so already. That way we can connect. That way, you know when I'm on live, you can hop on. Also, go to studiomillions.com. Send your coach to Studio Millions. Studio Millions will pack their gym full of students who stay, pay, and refer. Your coach will love you for it. Studiomillions.com. Anyways, so, oh, shit. Like the live too. Okay. Yeah. So, also, in other news, DC has attacked, or not even attacked. Nate Diaz attacked DC. DC clapped back, but I did a whole stream on it the other day, but it gets even deeper because uh, Nate Diaz, his big insult to DC was that he makes more money than DC. And DC says the lowest form of insult, I totally forgot to mention this. The lowest form of insult that one man can make to another man, especially when both men are doing well, is I make more money than you. Because it's like they're both, neither one of them need a thing, right? So DC is like coming out and saying that Nate Diaz is an average fighter. And that's kind of fucking crazy, man, because to DC, to like the general population, Nate Diaz is like a high level fighter. To DC, he's like average or subpar. And I believe what DC's implying is that DC would rather be a world champion with a legacy rather than an average fighter with a paycheck. So I'm hoping that they're going to box soon. I'm not sure if they are or not. I doubt they will because they're two different weight classes. But I also heard rumors circulating that Nick Diaz might be making a comeback soon. Can you imagine if we got Nick and Nate on the same MVP card? The Diaz brothers, Jake Paul righting the wrong when Nick Diaz was banned for 5 years over marijuana smoke. For 5 years, they took his fucking career away. Can you imagine? And now the story becomes right because Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz finally fight on the same card and they both make millions of dollars. They finally get paid what they're worth for all they've given to the community, for sacrificing their entire life to martial arts, and MVP can potentially make it happen. There is a catch. Nick Diaz might still be in his UFC contract. Nick Diaz is alleging that he would like to fight Hamzat. I don't think they're going to make that fight, guys. You tell me. I don't think they're going to make that fight. But that's the fight that he is claiming that he would like. So I want to see Nick Diaz versus Andrew Tate in Misfits boxing. That's my personal choice. I think that would be a great matchup. But I also wouldn't mind seeing Nick in MVP because MVP is paying well. And I think it would be super cool for them, him and his brother, to be on the same card. I'm picking Nate Diaz to beat Mike Perry. He could, but Felony had a great point. Felony, because I'm like, dude, he could just shoot in, and whether he gets on bottom or ends up on top, he can submit him. Nate can submit Mike Perry. Felony's like, dude, he's not going to shoot, bro. He's going to try and strike with Mike Perry. And while he could still win in that regard, he might get his fucking cheeks clapped and get KO'd because Mike Perry hits hard as shit. So why even give the guy a chance, man? But guess what? I guess that's why Nate Diaz is the original BMF, and everybody agrees with me that we should strip Charles Oliveira of the BMF for not being a bad motherfucker and standing and trading with Max Holloway. Instead, he was a bad motherfucking grappler. Okay. So, you know, they're talking about Conor's coming back. Conor versus Ian Gary is the speculation that everybody is talking about. I'm fucking so stoked for that fight. I believe that's the fight. Some people are saying it's going to be Conor versus Charles Oliveira. I don't think that's going to be the fight. I don't really see what Conor versus Charles Oliveira does. But so whenever you're thinking about the potential matchups they can make, don't just think about the excitingness of the fight. Think about what happens when one guy wins and the other guy wins. Then what are they going to do? Like what? Imagine you're playing chess with these fighters. What are the chess moves? So if Conor comes back and he fights Ian Gary, it's going to be a huge, huge event. It's going to be the fucking Irish versus the Irish, the craziest fight ever. Is this the new Ireland fucking representative? Is he going to take out Conor? Is Conor going to pass the torch to him? Or is Conor McGregor going to beat the young lion? And so if Ian Machado Gary beats Conor McGregor, then Ian Machado Gary is skyrocketed into superstardom and he will get a title shot next. Now, is Ian going to beat Islam Makhachev? I don't believe so. But that fight will be crazy because he's coming off the hype of Conor. People remember what you did last. And because he beat a superstar, they're going to be, oh shit, he might beat Islam. Islam can't strike with a dude. Islam is going to spike that dude on his head, punch him in the face, and choke him probably in the first round, honestly, to be real, if they fought. But guess what? If Conor wins, Conor's getting the fucking title shot. Well, what'd you say? Ego will be bad. Whose ego will be bad? If Ian wins, yeah. So if Conor wins, and so I thought people wanted to see Conor fight. I'm hearing more and more people say they don't want to see Conor fight. They want to remember Conor in his prime, and they don't believe that his comeback will be good. They don't believe that he can win again. They don't believe that he's going to take it seriously. They don't believe that he's been training. And so people are saying they'd rather not see Conor fight. They want him to stay retired. They want to remember the Eddie Alvarez fight where he fought nearly perfectly. That was one of the best exchanges in mixed martial arts history. And people want to remember that. They don't want to see him get beat up again. I don't think he'd get beat up by Ian Machado Gary. I don't think so. I think he would spark Ian Machado Gary. That's my personal belief. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm living in the past. Maybe it's too much nostalgia. Maybe I'm too caffeinated and hopeful, guys. Maybe I'm naive. That could be it too, right? So we got some other stuff popping off in the MMA world. Apparently, Gina Carano has been seen hitting mitts, and Brendan Schaub says she looks slow. They are saying that Brendan Schaub, who used to date Ronda Rousey, so he may be biased. He's saying that Ronda should be a minus 4,000 favorite, that Gina has no chance. And that's what got them talking about would Brendan Schaub come back and fight. Was like, dude, if they gave you an easy fight as Ronda's getting with Gina, because everybody perceives Gina to be a very easy opponent for Ronda, would you come back and fight? And Brendan Schaub kind of was like saying he wanted the smoke. He wants a tougher challenge. He said he would fight Andrei Arlovsky in MMA again. And the other thing that I thought was interesting, he wanted to fight Brock Lesnar with no drug testing so that they can both be on testosterone. That I found that interesting. So Brendan Schaub admits he's on testosterone. He says he wants a no drug test fight with Brock Lesnar. He wants to secure the bag. He wants to do it on Netflix. I'm here for it. And if not Brock Lesnar, maybe they could get Arlovsky because Arlovsky's over in bare knuckle. So Arlovsky was the main event when Felony knocked out the Pat Sullivan at Knucklemania in Philadelphia. And it was freezing cold there, guys. I don't know why anybody lives in rant time. I don't know why anybody lives in Philadelphia, guys. I went out there. It was freezing and the snow was frozen. So it wasn't like powdered snow. It was like snow that kind of melted in the daytime and then froze again overnight. And then so when you go out there, it's like these hard rocks of snow. There's trash. There's trash trucks. The streets are narrow. The buildings are tall. People are walking. It's cold as fuck. There's like homeless people and shit. Dude, I was like, man, Philadelphia is out. So every single person that was on the trip with us, independently, we didn't discuss this. At one point or another, each one of us had said this aloud to another one. Each one all said, why would anyone live here? I would never live here. And we even realized that the number one thing that so if you know somebody in Philadelphia that's homeless, I mean, how the fuck would you know somebody? But like the piece of life advice that they should take, get a sign and say, I'm buying a bus ticket to Florida. Why would you be in the cold? Somebody will literally drive you to the Greyhound station and buy you a bus ticket. I promise you. So, man, yeah, it was so fucking cold out there. Yeah, Felony saying it was unreal cold. Art Pon the Don says we call it Brick City. Yeah, that shit was fucking brick cold, man. It was unreal cold. Like it was painfully cold. Like if you were walking this way and the wind was behind you like this, right? You were all right. But if you turned and the wind was coming at you, the wind was painful on your face. It was so freaking cold. For the most part, we just stayed in the fucking hotel room. It was crazy. And then, as you guys know, Felony smokes black and mild. So he had to go outside and smoke in the fucking freezing cold. It was the craziest thing. Honestly, man, I'm fucking thrilled. Felony KO that guy. I was happy to leave Philadelphia. I don't necessarily. I saw the Rocky steps. That was dope. I saw the Rocky statue. Did a little video. Posted on my story. Put the Rocky music on. That was a vibe. Okay, the Rocky statue was a vibe. The cheesesteak, pretty freaking good. You know, it's like that's a bucket list thing. You go to Philadelphia, you get a Philly cheesesteak. Okay, cool. Been there, done that. Don't need to go back. We're going to Hawaii next, y'all. Philly is just for partying at your risk. People don't play. Oh, what? Yeah, man. Philadelphia didn't seem like it had any. Maybe I didn't get the right experience. Maybe you got to go in summer or something like that. It didn't seem like it had really much anything appealing to me. So if you are in Philly, I would suggest you travel, see some sights, get out, live a little. Philadelphia is a very, very, very cold, cold place. I want to stop smoking. Yeah, man. So that's the ticket, right? If you guys have someone who's a smoker, move them to Philadelphia. They will want to quit smoking because they don't want to go outside because it's so cold. So yeah, Felony almost quit smoking in Philadelphia. It was that cold outside. Let me hit this real quick. So yeah, we got Diaz versus Perry, which is going to be a banger. We got Ronda, who should smoke Gina Carano, and what? We got more in the chat. Yes, the king is spitting fire. I spit hot magma. What's up? Top 5 rappers. King David, King David, King David, King David, King David. Anyways, so yeah, guys. We got Ronda. She's probably gonna smoke Gina Carano. So I'm not sure if there's any money to be made in that if you want to bet, right? Then next on the card, Francis should smoke that dude. Mike Perry versus Nate Diaz. I'm assuming Nate's going to be the favorite, but maybe not. So if Mike Perry's the favorite, you could probably make money on Nate because Nate can win. And then down the card below that, man, Kenny Cross is really good, but the dude he's fighting is really good. I think Kenny Cross could upset that dude. But you know that guy's a 2-division champ, right? So how good is KSW? That's the question. He's a 2-division champ in KSW. Kenny Cross won on the Contender Series, so you know 2 bad motherfuckers right there. And Chris Avila is fighting someone I trained with, and I'm rooting for Chris Avila just because me and that dude we don't really see eye to eye on a lot of subjects, and we don't train together anymore. And but as biased as I am, I think that dude can beat Chris Avila. I think he's going to win. So if he's the underdog, bet on that guy. You'll probably make money because that guy, despite me and him not, we just, this is a bunch of bullshit, right? But that dude is kind of slick and kind of tricky, and he does highlight real people. So shout out to that dude. But anyways, yeah, man. So it's going to be an interesting card. The White House card, Arnon Sarzukian was trolling for April Fools. He said that he is going to who was it? Replace Justin Gaethje. So he was going to fight Ilya Taporia. The internet went wild. They went a buzz. It was an April Fool's joke. But I have heard a rumor that he is volunteering to be the backup fighter for the White House card. And they may allow that, they may not. I think that's a good idea, but then that requires a bunch of background checks and a bunch of other bullshit that they may not want to go through because it is at the White House. Also, you know, we don't get too political on this show, but can we get the fuck out of overseas wars, please? You know what I'm saying? Can we get back to like the golden era of America, please? That would be dope. Armand guy was hanging out with Clavicular. Yeah, Armand's doing his kick thing, man. He's kick streaming. And he is hanging out with Nina Drama a lot. People are alleging that they have a secret romance. Her boyfriend or husband is calling in and looking like he's getting upset on the phone with her. And she's like, it's all bad, man. She needs to she needs to focus on her relationship and stop trying to fucking get views with Armin, because Armin is getting he's habitually line stepping, and I get that they're playing it up for the camera, right? But like, I don't think Armin's playing. I think Armin's really getting at her. I think Armin's really getting at her. He's trying to swoop her off her feet. Oh, Arpon saying that Armand Suzuki and Smash Nina drama. I don't know that to be true. From what I've heard, Nina does not smash the people that she is interviewing. But man, if someone were dating her or married to her, they were probably highly upset with the way that she is being talked to publicly on video. And man, that's a crazy situation because she's ultra charismatic. And I think these dudes think they have a chance, especially like Armin. So because Nina's being nice and she's trying to like have a good, IRL stream, Armin's like kind of overstep it. You know what I mean? And she's kind of like, she knows it's good for views. So she's kind of like letting it slide, but at the same time, like trying to balance a relationship. Man, that's crazy. It can get crazy, guys. And I'm fortunate. I have the perfect girlfriend for me. She's ageless. She's a genius. She's awesome. And yeah, so I can only imagine being an IRL streamer with all the drama that goes on and having a relationship at the same time would be pretty wild. There would be a lot of explaining to do because the things that typically get views are the things that typically cause issues in relationships. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Nina Drama for doing the challenging balancing act of hanging out with a billionaire son on a private jet and your husband getting upset about it and you telling him it's for the gram or for the kick. You know what I mean? So, anyways, yeah, guys, I, I'm I'm hopeful. I love crazy fights. I fucking love crazy fights. So I absolutely hope Brendan Schaub really does. Like, I hope this conversation that he had on the Fighter and the Kid today actually sparks an offer for him to fight Brock Lesnar. That would be fucking epic. Jake, so here's I'm gonna future pace and plan out a card for you guys, and you let me know what you think too. Okay. Nate beats Mike Perry. Now we're gonna get Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, MVP in MMA, Netflix main event. Fucking crazy. Then co-main event, Brendan Schaub versus Brock Lesnar. Do you know how many fucking people would tune in to see Brendan Schaub get smashed and beat up by Brock Lesnar? There would be the craziest part is this. Here's the truth, guys. I've done 3 or 4 streams about Brendan Schaub now because he gets the most views out of anybody. I can do a stream about Conor. I can do a stream about Dana. I can do a stream about Hamzat, a stream about Strickland, a stream about Ronda, a stream about Gina, a stream about Jake Paul, a stream about Clavicular. Take everybody. Brendan Schaub gets the most views as of right now. So that's why we're streaming about him. And to me, I'm like, dude, do people really hate this dude that fucking much? But guess what? I guess people do. So people would tune in to see him get beat up by Brock Lesnar. I think he beats Brock Lesnar. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm nuts. Fucking A, man. No drug tests. Brock Lesnar, Brendan Schaub, steroided out of their fucking minds. Let's fucking go. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, guys, that's the stream. I love you guys. I got to get up. Me and Felony got to train tomorrow. We got rounds to put in. He's fighting Hawaii, April 11th, bare knuckle. Bet on Felony. He's going to KO this guy. Trust me, I train with the motherfucker every day. He will win. All right, guys. I love you. Make sure if you haven't hit notifications, hit them. And if you haven't subscribed, man, come on. What are you doing with your life? I love my subscribers. Please, man. For fuck's sake, dude. Bring me some joy. Bring me some fucking joy, guys. I love the chat. I love the subscribers. I love making lives for you guys. I'm having fun over here. You know what I'm saying? This is the highlight of my night. Anyways, guys, I love you. Peace out.